Data structures. I'm going to talk a little bit about data structures. There are many ways to organize data inside Python. And the first data structure that I'm going to talk about is the list. You can define a list just by, as any variable, just by naming the variable. For example, names. And you can define a list by creating these brackets, and then you just need to write inside whatever you want inside your list. It can be numbers, it can be strings, it can be floats, it can be whatever you want. It can be any kind of object, actually. So you could have PyML objects also inside a list. Let's just create a list with names. Okay, so this is a list, and you can access each one of the elements by indexing the list. Indexing the list means, like, if, for example, if I want to print one of the values inside the list, I can just write a number here. If I write, for example, 3, which one is going to print? Is going to print, or 2, I'm sorry. The indexing on the list starts at 0. So this name is going to be the number 0. This is going to be the number 1, and this is going to be the number 2. If I print this, it's going to print the name Mario here. If I put 0, it's going to print Daniel. So it's very important that you can index, use the index in the list. You can also use negative numbers. You can write -1, and you will access the last number in the list by doing this. It's Hussein. I can put -2, and it will access Mario. So this is how you can index lists. If you wanted to create a longer amount of lists, there are some built-in functions that can help you to create lists in a very easy way with a lot of numbers. For example, the function that's easiest is called range. With range, you can create a list of any amount of elements. For example, I can put 20 here, and I can print this. Actually, this is not going to work because this range function is optimized to return something that's called an iterator. I'm just going to turn the result into a list. I'm not going to discuss this at this moment, but I'm just going to do a cast to turn this, whatever it returns, into a list. And let's print it. And as you can see, I have 19, well, 0 to 19, that means 20 numbers inside my list. It's very important that you remember that. It starts in 0, and here exactly each one of the elements corresponds to its index. So if I wanted the element number 10, it's going to give me 10. If I want the 15, it's going to give me 15. If I want the 17th, it's going to give me 17. So this is a way where how you can create a list with all the names. To know the size of a list, you can use another built-in function that's called len. With len, you can know the length of the list. Let's print this. And the length of names is 4 because it contains 4 elements. Yes, that's how you know how many elements it has. Remember that the index 4 doesn't exist inside my list. If I try to do my list 4, it's gonna raise an error because the index goes all the way to 3, right? So index 4 doesn't exist. If I try to print this, it's gonna raise an error at the end. It's the error, which means the list index out of range, which means that value doesn't exist. Let me stop this. Anyway, so that's the error. There are other, this is the most important data structure that you're going to be using in Python, or it's the most common data structure that you'll be using in Python, because there are other ones that are very important. And you can also do something called slicing with lists. Slicing, it's very, very, very useful sometimes. And for example, here I have my list with all my names, but what if I don't want all the names? I want a shortened list. I can do slicing. Slicing means that you're gonna put 2 points, and then you're gonna keep 2 indices. The first one is the start, and the second one is the end. In this case, I'm going to put 3. So I'm going to start with the index 1. So 0, 1. This is the first index it's going to take. And I'm going to end up with the 3. Now, it doesn't take the index 3, which will be Hussein. It takes the third element, 1, 2, 3. It will be Mario. So I'm shortening the list to these 2 elements. Let's print these. Oh, of course, I haven't removed my error. Let me stop this and run it again. And there it is. As you can see, I did a shortened list with only 2 elements, from the element 1 to the third element. The element 1 is the index, and the third element is Mario. I can also do this kind of slicing with, for example, if I don't put a number here, I just mean from the first element till the end. And also I can do other kind of slicing, like for example here I could say I want till the third element. The third element, from the beginning till the third element. And also I could do slicing with negative numbers. I want to do from the beginning till minus or from -2 till the end. Yeah. Or I could do also from the beginning till -2. And you can see here the results of the slicing. As you can see, each one of these slicings that I am doing is cutting the list from one element till another. And this is the data structure that, as I was saying, it's more important. There are other data structures that I'm not going to mention, well, that I'm going to mention now, that maybe I will take over them later. These data structures are, for example, the sets. There are sets. There are dictionaries, which I think is also very important. Dictionary. And also you can have tuples. Tuple set dictionary, which is this. So these are the constructors, or the functions to cast: the set, the tuple, and the building functions to cast. Okay. I'm going to touch those in different videos, but I just want you to know that a data structure is just a way the data is organized inside an object. So each one of these is a different object in Python. I hope that this was clear, and if you have questions, let me know.